my Republican people that I knew from the past, there's a sort of like last days of disco feeling about this. It's like the party is going to stop soon. I'm going to rape and pillage as much as I can this year. I'm going to try to get through, this last cycle because it's going to be the last disaster. And a lot of these people are my age, some a little older, some a little younger, but mostly in my demo, where a lot of them have made their compromise to work in the MAGA universe, but they now are seeing that the MAGA universe is politically untenable at this point.
It's a black hole.
So they're gonna collect the maximum amount of quan in this campaign that they possibly can.
Yeah. So we have some more polling on his cognitive decline, Donald Trump's cognitive decline, in fact,
which is so real,
and so powerful, and he's got a great mind.
Many people say I passed more cognitive tests than anyone.
I mean, the cognitive tests, we've been just going round and round and round about this for years. And if you hadn't noticed, Donald Trump is senile. So 35% of people say he's suffering from significant cognitive decline. 13% say modest cognitive decline, and just 1/3 say he's not suffering from any cognitive decline.
There's the MAGA base right there.
There's the MAGA base. And you can see it. Let's see. 78% of MAGAs say he's not suffering from any cognitive decline.
There you have it.
Ding, ding, ding. Let's look at independents by party ID. 35 and 16% say he's suffering from at least some kind of cognitive decline. When half of independents say that you're suffering from cognitive decline, you tend to lose. See Joe Biden. This is what sank
I'm not sure
Joe
how that
Biden.
column came out to 101%, but let them have their math.
Yeah, interesting. Not sure how that happened. Must this AI polling.
You know what it is? It's just sample size.
Yeah, it is. And this is what sank Joe Biden. And it is surprising to me that it is not more damaging to Donald Trump, because it's so obvious if you watch him speak that he cannot, that he is not in control of his functions.
No.
Let's see. Democrats, obviously,
African Americans, when you have 62% saying he's suffering from cognitive decline.
I think this is interesting.
That's not nothing.
So if you break down it by race, you can see that Hispanics and Black Americans are more likely to say that, slightly more likely to say that Donald Trump is suffering from cognitive decline. Here's what's interesting. Hispanics and Black Americans are somewhat more likely to have a parent or an older relative at home.
Yes.
And that means they would have more experience seeing potential cognitive decline. So the people who are more familiar with cognitive decline are probably more likely to say that Donald Trump is suffering from cognitive decline because they're speaking from experience.
Yep, really.
I mean, obviously, white people go through the same kind of things.
But when you you also look at the male-female differential there, women are more likely to be caregivers of senior parents who are suffering from cognitive decline.
Yeah, much more likely to see these kinds of things. College grads, I think, you probably just have a more deep familiarity with neurology in general. This is going to be, I don't know that cognitive decline is necessarily Trump's legacy because of all the other nasty and horrible things that he's done.
Right.
But this is what's causing all this insanity. I mean, he's clearly not in control of any functions. And the delusional belief that he could, be in and out of Iran in 2 weeks, I can't ascribe anything to that other than senility. I mean, that has to be some kind of insane, old man brain. It just doesn't make sense.
No, and I think and I don't know who made this point the other day. Somebody made this point in our circle who said, Trump, as his cognitive abilities decline, he goes back to what he thinks he's good at, being a builder. So he thinks the ballroom is like a thing he's going to be good at, or the arch, or redecorating the White House and turning it into like the Liberace Saddam Disco Palace or whatever. But yeah, he is on. Yeah, that's right, Tiffany. He's on borrowed time.
He is.
Listen, the actuarial tables are undefeated, and it comes for us all until, of course, I'm uploaded to the cloud.
Hey, it's coming any day now. God, we got to keep Donald Trump from being uploaded to the cloud.
No, please don't upload Donald Trump.
Please don't do it. Please don't do it.
Don't do it. I will say great things about Grok if they refuse to upload it. I promise.
The only good thing about Grok is that it's capable of scraping Twitter, and you can see what people have said for years and years and years.
Well, I think that's all of our slides today.
I think it is. Man,
what a day.
Just to wrap it all up, I think, there's no coming back from this. We've talked about that a million times, but it is still a mystery to me, like how far down he can go. It's actually less and less clear as days go by. Earlier in the year and maybe last year, late last year, you and I were saying, there's a floor for Donald Trump.
Yeah, we were.
That was the logic. That was the logic that we were all sticking to, was that there was a floor, especially on certain issues, especially immigration and the economy. That there's a floor for Donald Trump.
Apparently,
that appears to not be the case.
And the reason that floor is broken is, yes, there's been a drop off of Republican approval at the top, in that higher income bracket of MAGAs, more educated, higher income MAGAs, the Lincoln Project's targets. The people that Lincoln Project and Lincoln Project advocacy talk to all the time. The independents have been the killer app, though. They've been the thing that's absolutely gutted him.
Yep. Oh, man. Oh, we didn't talk about the shooting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's already gone away. Just like Trump never mentions the guy in Butler.
No.
And never mentions the guy, because the guy got in through security that was so lax. Terrible security. I told this story last night. A friend of mine texted me. Renee and I were at the Puck party, right on the same grounds.
Yeah.
And he said, "Where are you guys?" I'm like, "Oh, we're at Puck, but we're not staying. We're not going to the dinner." He goes, "If you want to, I'll just text you my QR code and you can use it to get in. Everybody else is getting in." There's no screening at all. There was no screening. They ran mags, but there was no real screening.
Oh my God.
For fuck's sake.
What I noticed with this shooting was that it all happened and all the MAGA influencers did what they did after Butler, which was all come together and have the same line. They said the same stuff. You can't
criticize Trump, or you
have to have the ballroom. They trotted out the stupid clips from years and years ago. Every time. It went over like a
folks. Watch my podcast with Ashley Sinclair, who was a former MAGA influencer. She was recruited by TPUSA when she was 19. She's smart and attractive and articulate, and she was a perfect weapon. And she's like, "Nope, I'm out. Not doing this anymore." It was a great interview about the MAGA influencer industrial complex, but you could see it playing out the night of the shooting.
And then what was the reaction from Americans? It was okay, all right. Whatever.
Yeah.
Another one.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah. It was really flat, and people didn't react the same way they did after Butler. And of course they tried to make that happen, but I think those days are gone.
Jumping into we must build the ballroom was not the answer they wanted.